Hey everyone, Pushing Up Roses here, and welcome back to my channel of fun. Today I'm stepping away from murder mysteries, games, and horror for a little holiday magic. And when I say magic, I mean literal magic because we have some Christmas time travel on our plate. You are probably not new to romantic time travel movies, specifically ones where a woman falls head over heels for a chivalrous man from decades past, but are you aware of the insane amount of Christmas time travel rom-coms? Oh yes, there are many. Recently, Netflix hopped on the feel-good holiday movie train and there's a lot to choose from. Typically, my jam are the Lifetime and Hallmark movies, but they're held to a lot of restrictions, making them too saccharine to watch over and over again. However, Netflix can jump right ahead into a PG-13 rating. Oh my god, sex? My virgin eyes! So yes, I've been watching more on Netflix than the other family-friendly channels. I recently came across The Night Before Christmas, starring Vanessa Hudgens, and wasn't totally ecstatic since I had just viewed The Princess Switch 2, which went totally off the rails. I thought I hit my quota for Vanessa Hudgens' Christmas universe films, but I decided to take a chance on this one because why not? I can honestly say I like this film. If you're gonna watch a Hudgens holiday movie, go with this one. And if you're wondering how this movie managed to charm me, then stick around because I, a woman in her mid-30s, is going to tell you how this fantasy romance fairy tale won my heart while also having some good-natured laughs at the ridiculous parts. We start with a snowy landscape portraying England in 1334. Two scheming knights, Sir Cole and Sir Geoffrey, are participating in the annual hawking competition. They decide to work together and split up so they have a better chance at winning. You know, cheating. Then we abruptly get the title screen, which... Look, it's better than almost all of the Hallmark movie title screens put together. They still use the papyrus font for theirs, okay? Cut to Ohio, 2019. Not the most boring state, but not the most exciting state either. Good old middle-of-the-road Ohio. Our protagonist, Brooke Winters, is consoling one of her students after her boyfriend broke up with her. And by console, I mean she tells her that romance is pretty much a lie, and to focus on her goals, which, in theory, sounds good and productive, but I'm not sure telling someone they'll never find a true connection with anyone is the best course of action.
We all grow up fantasizing about being a princess and finding true love with a knight in shining armor and living happily ever after. But the thing is,
it's all bullshit! Cole is now lost in the woods, but he happens upon an old lady with haphazardly colored in eyebrows. As a side note, I watched this movie with the captions on because I didn't want to miss any dialogue, and when Cole finds the woman, I got one that said faint tinkling and thought someone was peeing just a little bit. This scene is basically the antithesis of Beauty and the Beast. The woman asks for help, Cole offers it, and he is rewarded with some nebulous quest to become a true knight. My god, this woman looks like she's about to hump him. Her eyes are darting all over the place.
Because of your kindness, I'll tell you this.
Pee is stored in the balls. She gives him a magical amulet and promises he will time travel to a faraway land to fulfill his dreams. She disappears in a flash of questionable computer graphics.
Old crone?
Excuse me? Oh, right. In this context, crone means a wise woman, and in this movie specifically,
A wise woman that presents herself in various disguises to test the hearts of knights.
But most people equate crones with hags that are a little more sinister in nature, like Baba Yaga. So Cole is transplanted into present-day Ohio, as you can guess. Not just any part of Ohio, specifically he is poofed to a holiday fest, and I gotta say, I feel like Cole should be way more alarmed by his surroundings because he would not know what anything is. Even I'm horrified by this absurd amount of Christmas cheer, and I'm used to it. A group of young girls, thinking he's a performer, runs up to take a selfie with him, and he is strangely calm. This may sound very pedantic, but I have a strong dislike for this Mr. and Mrs. Claus. Look at those horrible gray wigs! I want them to be in snow white wigs with texture of silk, not gray and straw-like. Brooke's niece asks for a puppy and a new boyfriend for her aunt. Awkward.
Someone really nice who won't cheat on her.
Oh no!
While wandering aimlessly in the street, Cole is hit full on by Brooke, who wasn't able to see well due to the harsh weather conditions. Did you get the number on that donkey cart? He's taken to the hospital and diagnosed with amnesia. The officer who met Brooke on the scene explains to her that he thinks he's a 14th century knight. He was also not hurt even a little bit by the impact due to his armor, which is why he had a lot of time to blurt out, Brooke addresses him as Cole, expressing that she's glad he's okay.
'Tis circle.
circle?
Okay, all I'm hearing is circle, like the shape.
Circle?
Circle.
Because she is incredibly trusting of strange men who think they're 14th century knights, she invites him to stay in her guest house while he recovers. Plus, he's really hot.
At your service, Lady Brooke.
Oh my. Sir Cole proves himself to be a little bumbling, a little naive, extremely chivalrous, and totally dreamy. He's adorable, one of the more likable men in a romantic fantasy movie. His intentions are just so pure, as unbelievable as they are, and because of that, Brooke finds herself very taken by him.
The guest house is just around the back. It's nothing fancy, but you should be nice and cozy.
You know, us women, we don't need saving, but sometimes we really like it. Sir Cole tries to adjust to his new surroundings in humorous ways, the humor being hit and miss depending on who you are, while blurting out random medieval times speak. And again, he is just so calm. This is the chillest man I've ever seen. 'Tis winter in here. He takes a bath and wanders around in his towel, and normally this would be extremely weird, but Brooke is very charmed by his personality. Her sister is a little concerned, stating that he could be dangerous.
Trust me, he's harmless.
5 seconds later. Brooke takes him out to a diner so he doesn't end up eating the local wildlife in the area, and he asks for mead, meaning hot chocolate. Yes, when they met at the festival, she spilled hot chocolate on him, he tasted it, and exclaimed that it was the most delicious mead he has ever tasted. And while I adore this sweet summer child's naivety, there is no way in hell that I believe he thinks hot chocolate tastes anything like alcohol, even something sweeter like mead. But this joke is recurring, so someone was proud of it.
What is this delicious mead? Berries? Wash down with some of that delicious mead you spilled away at the castle. This must be that delicious mead I've grown so fond of.
When Brooke turns in for the night, Sir Cole takes the opportunity to, quote, learn her dialect via watching television. Oh, look at him having big thoughts. Just wait until he gets to the paid programming. Call 1-800-GET-SEXY.
Modern technology is lit AF.
Oh god. Cole helps Brooke put up some of her Christmas decorations and they bond over family memories. I do give this movie credit for focusing on the lead's chemistry more than other holiday films do. Love Actually. As they get a little closer, Cole asks Brooke to drop the sir in front of his name.
Formalities can cease now that we're
undressing each other with our eyes. Okay, let's move this along a bit faster because I think you know where the story is going to go. The quest is going to be one of love, Brooke being the object of Cole's affections. He tries several things to fulfill his quest, like tackling a thief who stole someone's purse and saving Brooke's niece from an icy fate, but the quest for love is what will make him a true knight. During all of this, Brooke educates him on the present day, while Cole tells her about his life from young squire to knight, and they do all of these syrupy sweet things. Brooke finds Cole so convincing that she starts to believe in the possibility of time travel and encourages him to keep following his dream, which would be very unhealthy and enabling if he wasn't actually a knight. There's also some heartwarming kid shit going on. At one point, Claire, Brooke's niece, discovers one of her friends doesn't have any warm gloves because her dad can't afford to buy his kids new clothing, so she offers hers. Keeping in line with the time of giving, there is also a small plot where Brooke and her friends offer a special Christmas with gifts and Santa to the father and donate some money to him so he can get back on his feet. It's a Christmas movie, people. We can't just have giddy romance, we need good deeds. After Cole fulfills his quest of opening his heart and finding true love, he has to go back to his own time, which Brooke is strangely okay with because now she fully believes in him. He uses the amulet to return home and Brooke is left heartbroken. This is the worst Christmas I've ever had. My boyfriend just poofed out of existence, and what do I do with all this mead? I suppose this means she has some proof for the time travel. Now, having felt the sting of true love, she tells her young student that it does exist. Back in his own time, Sir Cole tells his brother that he fell in love, and even though this is the day of his knighting ceremony, Geoffrey tells him he must go to his fair maiden.
I carry you with me. Here.
In my left pec. Claire gets a puppy for Christmas and no one knows where it came from.
I already named him Knight. What do you think, Aunt Brooke?
I think it's trite. Cole finds the crone and tells her that he understands the importance of love and asks to be returned to Ohio, which she is happy to do. He and Brooke are reunited and they share a kiss. A kiss that I'm not sure if Brooke is enjoying. Those are some tight lips. Welp, I'm sufficiently wooed. Okay, before I start breaking down exactly why this worked for me personally, Don't get me wrong, this is not a masterpiece, I know this. You know, I'm also a visual artist. I paint and draw, and so rarely do I create what I'd consider a masterpiece. But despite the flaws and quirks in my technique, my pieces seem to make people happy. So I don't need this movie to be a masterpiece. I just need to get some kind of joy out of it. In this case, it was a thirsty joy, definitely catering to those who want an idyllic fairy tale romance with a polite, kind-hearted knight as the love interest. And there are definitely reasons as to why this held my attention. Yes, the knight was hot, that was a big one, but mostly I found it more charming and believable than other holiday romances. And I know what you're thinking. How can this be believable? They couldn't even get good wigs. There's a difference between full-on belief and the suspension of disbelief. Things in this movie would absolutely, 100% not happen in real life, but I do believe they are happening in this story. That's all I need. I don't need to find everything realistic. I just need to believe the story that is being told, and for the most part I did. Now I can't speak for every woman, but as somebody who's dated some pure trash, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you why Sir Cole worked. Not that I'm saying murder is a good idea, but Cole's insistence on torturing one of Brooke's crappy ex-boyfriends is pretty great.
If he broke your betrothal and ruined you, I believe it is my quest to see him run through.
I definitely have a few exes that could use a good run through. His charm is off the charts, completely off the charts. He's not jealous, he is not tempted by other women, which by the way, is something you see a lot in rom-coms. Love Actually. He can bake, cook, is good with kids. The man is too good to be true, and this is the fantasy I need in my life. Yes, I want a hot British hunk to slay my ex and worship the ground I walk on. A lot of attention was given to the connection between Brooke and Cole, and while I don't think someone from the Middle Ages could really communicate with somebody in present times, I did find their interactions and romance believable. This is mostly due to Josh Whitehouse's charming performance and Hudgens' more down-to-earth performance. I feel like I need to point out that Hudgens plays some comically evil and unrealistic characters in the Princess Switch movies, and that's why those movies didn't land with me. There were also too many meddling characters with ulterior motives, and romances that were a bit too shallow. Actually, it's interesting that there isn't another romantic interest shoehorned into this movie, because that usually serves as the conflict. You know the story. Girl dates an asshole guy, but keeps giving asshole guy a chance, comes upon a guy that treats her well, there's a misunderstanding, and she almost goes back to the asshole guy, but it all works out in the end. There is none of that in this movie. Brooke always has faith in Cole, and Cole feels committed to her, making this one of the most feel-good movies I've ever seen. There isn't any unnecessary drama. In fact, if you're looking for a movie with deeper meaning, this ain't it. This is more akin to a lighthearted fairy tale with magic and romance and overly cutesy dialogue. Brooke is not what I would call a quote strong female character because I don't know enough about her to determine that. Like a lot of romance fantasies, she's more of a blank character that women, and really anyone of any gender, can envision themselves as, and I absolutely think there is a place for this kind of escapism. It is hard to take these movies seriously because there are so many. Hallmark turns them out like crazy, but just in general, I don't hate fluffy fantasy with the intention of mental diversion, especially for women in their 30s because, as you know, when you hit your 30s, you lose all of your sex appeal and shrivel up and die. Additionally, Brooke is not what I would describe as a damsel in distress either. She's not in distress, she's actually fine. She was fine before meeting Cole and she's fine after meeting him. The difference is, now she has a cool knight that carries around a sword, her heart is a little more open to love, and you don't need to be in distress to find those things. Something else I appreciate about this film is probably one of the most cliche things about it, and that is when Cole fulfilled his quest for love, he was rewarded with happiness. Now that sounds like some stereotypical rom-com crap, but here's why I liked it. As mentioned, Cole does a lot of other things that were brave or humble, and Brooke thinks those are the things that deserve reward. But Cole says, though they might be acts of valor, it's not what makes somebody a knight. Again, super flowery, but part of me appreciates that the film has Cole doing these thoughtful things for no reward, because maybe they shouldn't be rewarded. He does them because it's just nice, or the right thing to do, and nobody needs to be given a gold star simply for being a good person. When you give freely. The reason he is, quote, rewarded for finding love is because he found it in himself to open up, be vulnerable, and trust someone else, because being in tune with your emotions is just so much more rewarding, or at least it should be. Especially important is showing men in a more vulnerable position where they're willing to be open with other people. This theme is also what makes it extremely cheesy because it doesn't really go any deeper than follow your heart.
You help me believe in myself.
That's all well and good, but I do want to talk about some of the more off-putting elements in this movie. Right at the very end, Claire gets a puppy for Christmas and nobody knows who got it for her. Brooke says it's Christmas magic and there's no further answer to this. Now, because Cole had not returned yet, I thought this might be a sign that he was returning. Maybe he got her the puppy, but nope! This left me feeling really frustrated because it felt unrealistic within the story and it kind of killed my enthusiasm. Even if it is the magic of Christmas, there still needs to be a reason or a way for the puppy to appear. When watching this a second time, I realized that while spying on Cole, the old crone had disguised herself as Mrs. Claus, and she is the one who Claire talked to when she asked for a puppy. That absolutely has to be the answer. But it's not elaborated on, nobody figures it out, it's just poof, magic puppy. I'm willing to believe this puppy was given to Claire via prestidigitation, but it needs to be woven into the story more clearly. There was way too long of a gap between Claire seeing Santa and getting this puppy, so I was not able to make the connection. Another tiring thing is the joke of Cole not understanding modern things. Some parts did get a genuine laugh out of me, when he's stacking cans of hot chocolate in a shopping cart, when he's sampling bread rolls and kinda spitting them out unbeknownst to Brooke. There is some decent silly humor here, but there's only so many times I can laugh at Cole discovering a new thingy and interacting with it in a comical way. But these things did not destroy my enjoyment of the film. It's not profound, it's not deep, but you may walk away from this feeling a little happier. It's also wonderful to riff on, even though it's not a particularly bad movie. As you can see, I had a lot of fun jabbing at it. I have watched a lot, and I mean a lot, of these family feel-good holiday movies this year, and I can say with confidence that this is one of the better ones. In fact, I think it was a delight. And even if you totally disagree with me, and now you think I'm a thirsty woman of a certain age who wants men to submit to me and carry out my every wish, which is valid, then I hope you at least enjoyed my commentary. Thank you so much for listening to my ramblies and affinity to cute men in chainmail. Have a happy holiday, and I will see you in the new year. Hey everyone, thanks again for watching me cheer for a possibly mediocre Christmas movie, but wasn't it fun? If you want to see more from me, I have plenty of videos on this channel, but first I want to give a huge thank you to my patrons. Thank you so much for those who support my channel. It's meant a lot to me, especially during these harder times. I am very grateful to have it. If you can't afford to donate, please consider sharing, commenting, or giving a thumbs up. Apparently, the YouTube algorithm likes that. If you want to see more from me, check out these! On the right, we have a Christmas episode of The Golden Girls where they are held hostage by Santa Claus, and on the left, I have my previous video on Murder, She Wrote. Thank you so much for watching. However you celebrate, I hope you have a wonderful holiday, and if you don't, then I hope you just have an amazing day. As always, I'll see you in the next one.